Welcome back, everybody, here to your ESL One Genting 2017 coverage. I am Toby1, your caster for the European region, and we're going into game number 2 of Virtus.Pro against DX. That's DX on the bottom of your screen and Virtus.Pro up on the top. VP, very solid draft, very solid game in game number 1 of our best of 3. DX, a little bit more of an unusual draft. It was definitely a comfort zone draft. Scandal playing as TA, Axmo playing as Tiny. Chandras, like everything just felt like it was everything they wanted to play, but nothing which fully worked together as a team. So it was, yeah, didn't really work out well. It's the best way to for DX. So new game, new day, new draft. So they move forward with this one. Virtus.Pro, set of bans with the SD. Dro and I are being removed, fair enough as well. The first ban phase is a little bit more uncommon. There's definitely some teams in the CIS scene which run Slaughter consistently. I think I used Vega as a good example previously. In this game, yeah, Slaughter would have been potentially an option. The Mirana will actually be their pickup, as they just give us game audio. That'd be nice. So, easy mid or potential support, but this opens up Virtus.Pro for the sweetest combo. Ogre as well as OD, the dream team, is on the board. Ogre Majaya has been basically the biggest pain in the butt when it comes to the mid lane. The Ogre just rocks up, spams out a little bit of Ignite, hits him a couple of times, and then denies himself. Buys a TP and goes out to another lane. Does exactly the same thing all over again. Gives the OD the upper hand when OD doesn't really have a lot of power. Because OD has the imprisonment, but the range is ass at level 1. So he tried to get it up more. Doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. So the Yoga kind of makes sure he doesn't have to use imprisonment every single time to get CS. So really solid start for the draft for VP. DX. So you got the Mirana. Now, Razor was banned out in the last game by VP. You assume he'll be banned out in the second phase again. And they have a sniper option. That's the other common one against the OD. And they're going to bypass both. Grab the Omni Knight. Not a bad hero against the OD. Primarily because Repel just makes it so OD doesn't really do that much damage. Purification's not too shabby. And here we go. VP. Sniper and Razor probably going to be on that ban list. So DX have to find another hero to make the mid lane work. Interested to see how VP approach the Omni Knight. More than likely, they're probably going to pick a Juggernaut in the third slot. That's just because you want a natural diffusal carrier that does a decent chunk of damage. You also want to have someone who's got a little bit of extra immunity, and Juggernaut kind of ticks all those boxes. And you need someone that can push waves quite nicely. Fair enough with the Batrider ban. Initiation was still in the question mark box for Virtus.Pro. Okay, they take out the SK. They don't ban the Razor themselves. Maybe they just feel confident enough up against the Razor. Same time they banned in the last game, so maybe not.
10 seconds remaining.
I wonder if DX is also trying to save up so they can, as in save their ban so they can pick up the Jug. I don't think VP's going to get in the first pick, and they'll be able to grab it. They banned the Darkseer. Okay. Juggernaut was pretty obvious that he was coming out just then. It's the go-to hero for Diffuser Blade and a Night Stalker? Okay. Well, at least Shadow's given us something different and unusual. That's definitely up there. Virtus.Pro Darkseer.
10 seconds remaining.
I thought Darkseer was really going to be that hero. But the Night Stalker surviving the early rotation just means you just need a tankier secondary support. The offlaner needs to be quite tanky in his own right as well. Just get a Centaur. Actually, he would Probably do it. I don't have enough damage. Okay, hello.
Radiant team
Doombringer for Virtus.Pro. Potential 4th position. Really hard to kill off support if that's what he is. He could also just be the offlaner as well. If you want to be a real dick about it,
10 seconds remaining.
Virtus.Pro could run him as a 3 position on the safe lane, and you run Juggernaut, Ogre, plus 1 on an off lane. Night Stalker's power in the early stages, if this is in fact a support Night Stalker, a mid Marauder, and a 5 position Omni Knight. Oh god, they need so much more money. Oh god, that's actually so greedy when you think about it. They're gonna take so long to come online. Unless they push Scandal into the mid as the Night Stalker. I'm not liking his chances up against the OD, but that's one of Scandal's older heroes he ran in the mid. But okay, yeah, we're not having that, thank god. Invoker will be their mid. More greed! More greed and more need to scale. Okay.
10 seconds remaining.
This is going to be a heavy farm game.
Radiant
It's going to be a very heavy farm game. I think Virtus.Pro comes out on top of it. Bloodsucker. The final ban out from VP.
10 seconds remaining.
Would have been a bit of a pain. They don't have like a way to counter. They got a lot of lifesteal. The Bloodseeker would have been a
10
real
seconds
problem, but
remaining.
maybe they just take it out just for safety.
5
I assume
seconds
VP and
remaining.
DX scrim frequently, so
Radiant team pick.
the Bloodseeker is probably something they've run against them in private times. They banned the Beastmaster.
10 seconds remaining.
Especially smart as the last ban. VP are lacking
5
vision.
seconds remaining.
Like, they're lacking a lot of vision. So taking out things like the Hawk works nicely. Just okay. Okay, so laning. Everyone needs so much money. So much money to
10
work.
seconds
And so many
remaining.
levels. That Tidehunter pickup. Really good up against so many melee heroes. You need someone that can tank on the off lane, AoE control. So you won't have the vision, but VP will just have the farm, the survivability, and they just go with that. So, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Again, I like VP's draft so much more. DX, they're going for something out of the box. They tried that previously. Didn't really work out for them. Who do we actually have on who? So it's going to be the offlane Night Stalker of Axmo, Candle's Invoker, and then support Marauder and Omni Knight. So Faceless Void needs to farm up a hell of a lot. You're not going to have a good time in the lane with Tidehunter. We might have a chance to kill him with Purification, just because you can time walk forward, and then Purify. Like, there's going to be some heavy damage onto the Tidehunter. But Tide is obviously innately tanky. So killing him off is still going to be very difficult, because you don't get much physical damage after that. Because with all that stuff I'm talking about, you still don't lock down Pasha. So all he's got to do is hit Anchor Smash once, and you're like, hey, you're good to go. Yeah, VP's draft looks very solid. And this Doombringer of theirs onto Lil. I don't really have a great way, DX, of contesting the jungle. So that's kind of where like my question mark is going to come up. Like, how do you stop the Doombringer from becoming a 4th core? Because if this happens, then VP are going to hit this sweet spot around 25-30 minutes, and nothing will stop them. Nothing at all. That Doombringer, if he's able to freely farm with Devour inside the jungle, if he gets lucky and maybe gets like a Dark Troll Summoner, So then he's got his skeleton minions to fight for him as well, or if he gets the Alpha Wolf, even then his mid-rotations could hurt. That's what we saw Vega doing in the Face It Invitational a hell of a lot. They would run whatever they wanted to in the mid. Normally it was something like an O, in fact, an OT, so they could get an imprisonment off. This allowed Doombringer the ability just to walk forward with the crit, hit Infernal Blade. Everyone's got bonus damage, and they're just gonna kill in the mid lane. Alright, finally we get to go. So off we run. What a surprise! Iron Talon Doom. Was Lil gonna... I would actually like it if Lil starts in the Radiant jungle. I don't know if he's going to though. Yeah, that actually looks... I love the Tide Taunt. Even when he's in ghost form, that's still cool. Yeah. Yeah, but if Lil can actually farm up inside the Radiant jungle, have a little presence here, and then rotate to the off lane. Like, it's still an Omni Knight. Oh, hello, they found Scandal. It's Gush first level. They're looking for more damage. Ramses will come in too. And Scandal, it was really nice knowing you, bro. Imprisonment will be the last point of damage. They're just sticking around to make sure. Okay, no, it wasn't.
First blood.
The great smoke maneuver there from VP. They'll claim first blood. Posh can't do anything about it. And now, because Invoker's all the way back at base, question is, do you even want to try and contest the runes? Faceless Voice says hello. Pasha is taunting him all the way to the bank. And Axmo can't get the top rune. Solo's made sure of that. So Lil will actually be able to... Oh no, the arrow! Connect! Stun strike as well. Doombringer's in trouble thanks to the 5-second stun. And Faceless Void will pick off the Doom. A little too greedy, not a lot of respect to the arrow. And this actually levels the kill board at least. Alright, so Pasha with his brutes first, at least can keep his distance against the Omni Knight. A little bit harder to run this lane when he went for the Gush as his first level. Also be able to pick up the Kraken Shell as well as the Anchor Smash. Until then, he's not going to be doing a lot to keep the Omni Knight out of lane. And the Omni Knight spammed out a fair amount of what he's got, like 100 mana for every purification. And he's almost dry. There's also a rotation around the back from Aposhka. So looking to get the initial slow and then hit him with the arrow. But the arrow, a little bit too early. And that's good for Pasha, actually. Doesn't die in the offlane. Yeah, he's going to be forced back. But he at least knows that Aposhka is failing his rotations. And Aposhka just comes back over, hopefully finds a big creep, which he does. Give him his level 2. But his next arrow should definitely be flying in towards the mid lane onto no one. If that arrow is able to connect, Invoker will finish the job. Give him that arrow again. Doesn't really work when you're like, in your brain you sit there going, oh, imprisonment, Arash for flying in and hit perfectly, and then you realize, wait, no, the imprisonment's on the other team. Poshka's now going to come out to Lil. Ships in the night, they pass the trees. He takes that to one of the centaurs. I think Lil realizes that something is awry. Pasha. Shadow going really up at his face. Doesn't want to let him free farm. Fair enough. Axmo is having this problem, however. Dark Creep waves keep getting denied. This Night Stalker is not going to have that many levels coming into the first nighttime phase. And they're kind of already preparing Semele for that nighttime phase. Maposhka hides in the tree lines. Easy vision from Lil. So he hits with the Infernal Blade. Maposhka will have to take a little bit of extra damage. No one. Colson up with 4 spirits there as well. Shadow rotates over. No one knows he's dead. There'll be a kill up on the top lane in the meantime, but the OD will drop. Lil looks at that last bit of damage. The Scorched Earth still up, and that's what he's actually burning Scandal down with at the moment. A little bit more, but now he's gone in too deep. So he turns around. The Infernal Blade to Shadow. Most of that damage is instantly healed up, and they get Cold Snap back cooldown. Shadow will drop. But the trade-off is the fact the Invoker is being involved in multiple kills in the mid lane. The Ogre only found himself here because he ended up dying on the top. But it was the trade-off for the Night Stalker. Pretty good for a Night Stalker not to be able to force such a thing. Must have caught him low when pulling. Pasha needed that little extra bit of space from Lil. Lil actually prioritizing Scorched Earth over Devour or Infernal Blade. Considering I thought he would be a little bit more focused on farm, and a higher level up in Devour would make more sense. And here's the first nighttime phase. They got to survive. You know that Night Stalker is going to be looking around. Any kill he can get his hands on. Ramses will probably be the harder one to get, especially when the Mirana's coming up. Oh, she's got Arcane Boots, so it's okay. In fact, Axmo can be a lot more open with his abilities. More help. They'll... Oh, double damage rune. He can't reach anybody though. They might be able to beat into the tower. But yeah, with the Arcane Boots and the Mirana, Axmo can just keep spamming out his Void. And always have mana for the Crippling Fifth Void combo when they want to kill off the Juggernaut. What's his build? So a 2-1-1. Interesting to see if he actually gets an extra point up. And he puts it in Void, okay. I'm wondering if he get an extra point up with the Silence just so they had more time to hit the Juggernaut before he'd spin away. Welcome to level 6 of Faceless Void, so Chrono is now available as well. Arrow flies in, Ramsey's able to dodge it. More by luck than actual skill, because he doesn't see anything on the other side of the tree line. Scanner wanting to go again. Shadow's still in the neighborhood, but it's... It's like Cold Snap as well as Forge Spirit Initiation. And then someone else has to be right behind him to make that work. Or you have no one get over-aggressive. Like, okay, maybe not over-aggressive. Like, Cold Snap is now down. So is your Forge Spirit. So no one just capitalizes on the moment. He doesn't have level 6. He used his 6th point to actually pick up the orb. Arrow's gonna miss again from Maposhka. His rotations have been good. His arrows just can't hit the mark. There's no simple setup for him. And while that pressure on top lane is what they're using first nighttime phase, yeah, they really want to try and fight this. So the Faceless Void, bring him in, double Chrono. Axmo sits on the side, Sunstrike's right in the money, and the Juggernaut voided down by Axmo. While they're trying to retreat back out again, Lil waiting for his right time. Don't know if he really wants to be helping out Solo here. I don't think he knows either. And Vogel's going to go down in the meantime. Solo will die on the top. Solo kill for the OD. Really, like, have not felt the presence of Lil at all. I guess not for the want of trying. It's the same kind of thing as Maposhka. Both rotating around. They're both finding farm and gold. But they're just not having an influence in the lanes. Which is good for us because the kills keep flowing through. Ash is going to have a better time now. He's hit level 6. That's his Arcane Boots, so a lot more spam. This is good for VP on the front that the mech is going to be coming at a decent time for him. The DX front's a little bit different because they don't need the mech as such. You get an urn build out of Axmo, so you're already going to have the charges from that, plus the purification from Omni Knight. And with the early arcane boots onto the Marana, they'll have enough mana for purification most of the time. Oh, Poshka. It's going to appear the second the rune comes up. And then no one. Okay. Okay. It's an illusion rune.
Radiant's
They do
top
not want
tower is under attack.
Too many ODs. Too many ODs. OD won't want to be too liberal with his mana usage. Still only got 2 points up at the Essence Aura. So until that rises, yeah. You'll only want to throw the orbs in times of combat. VP with a full group up, they can push out this top tier 1 tower finally.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
We've got more than enough sustain to keep this going. With actually both healing ward plus the aura from the Devoured Satyr. Thanks for a very heavy presence in the lane. I mentioned the double nukes. And TP rotations coming down. And Poshka again going to look for good arrow. Combine up with Sunstrike. Tide.
My life ebbs. Suffer the ravages of time.
Doesn't even have an opportunity to respond to that. He was perfectly chain stunned. Perfectly chain stunned. But Lil and Solo are ready for any kind of other opportunity. Like, that's 2 minutes of Chrono on cooldown. But it's going to move up for an aggressive Observer Ward. Not a rotation, however. That's what the Marana was doing previously. I don't think VP are again concerned. It's the same kind of start to last game. VP's getting a hell of a lot out of their lanes. You get a very early Midas over on no one. The safe lane of Ramses is getting crap tons of money. So on all those fronts are looking good. Alpha level 3, that's a quick kill. Great use of Moonlight Shadow. Gets in range, simple purification plus Starfall. That's some heavy, heavy burst damage hitting the OD. But the OD also died a hell of a lot during the last game. So this is where my concern is.
Radiant's top tower is under
This is where my concern is with DX. The fact that they just don't have a plan to win. Like, this is coming back up again. Actually, you do have the Night Stalker now with the Hand of Midas. The Vision game may be VP's downfall. If you can get that Scepter on the Night Stalker at a nice early time, VP may never actually get the better opportunity to take a fight. Because they'll always just be, like, they'll never be able to see properly against DX. The only way VP would then win is just by outlasting them, which would require more farming than what we're getting at from Lil. It's the right amount of farming for the Juggernaut and the OD.
Radiant's middle tower.
I suppose the Ogre is tanky by nature, but still, you want to have an Ogre with more than just boots and a frickin' wind lace. There's not a lot to work on. And you can see DX also watching for that farm of VP. Watching around the Ancients, watching around the Secret Shop, any critical items that come out, they'll know about it. See the rotations of Lil. And it's the only lane with a question mark of what may happen. You know what's going to happen on the top. Ramsey's going to sit there forever, continue to farm up, have no real problem. No one's going to head into the jungle between that and mid lane. So again, nothing really out of the ordinary for VP. DX will be looking for their rotations now as we hit nighttime. And a Midas needs to be used first, but then you can look for kills, or actually they're already looking for them. Faceless Void. Chrono is available. Level 4 Purification. That's that burst combo. Don't know. Okay, no one was watching mid lane. Ox hit the creep wave as he went through. That would have been a very small indication of what was happening.
Allies disappear.
Moonlight Shadow, they try and close the distance even more. Looking for Solo. He did this as the Lion previously. Just sitting back, farming up on the top lane. They don't find him because they don't come close enough to the pool camp.
Radiant's bottom tower is
DP
under
now
attack.
actually comes out from Solo. He heads to the bottom lane,
Radiant structures
right underneath the Observer Ward. So with the rotation from no one, EX understand that's a 5-man move with the bottom. It's their choice though if they wish to fight.
Dire's
Like Shadow
middle
has his
tower is
TP
under
scroll.
attack.
Poshka's coming in. Yep, they're coming down. They're going to try and engage on this. Lil's waiting over there in the tree lines. I like how he's actually got the Purge creep too. Going to cause a couple of problems. And less. Oh, the Chrono. It goes off. The Ravage keeping the Omni Knight out so we can't go for the straight up purification. And now they just doom up the Omni Knight. No more heals available. Faceless Void gets ripped apart. No one. Oh, he doesn't require much. One level of orb is already hitting like an absolute truck, and then they move into the Omni Slash too. VP take 3 quick and simple kills on the bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Chronosphere wasn't too bad, but the fact that Tidehunter was able to get his Ravage off, there was no quick damage.
Radiant's
The
bottom
Doombringer
tower
was in the
has
right
fallen.
position. Lil just slipped around the back. They had to deal with one purification, but they didn't have to deal with anything else. They never had to deal with a repel, because he picked up that setup before the fight happened. So there was nobody with immunity. Which means it's very simple for Lil to set up for himself to purge into Doom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This sustains. Gold remains.
So with Virtus.Pro having their 2 big cores getting bigger, now going to amplify the damage with a Veil of Discord build over on the Doom. Poshka with an Invis rune setting up nicely. They still don't have Chronosphere up. Dire Observer sees Aximo moving around the tree line. They have to know something is coming their way. Solo's still on the back line. Needs to look for the stun. Actually tanks the arrow. She saved no one's life there. Solo will probably lose his own. In fact, not probably, definitely loses his own. You're okay with this. DX committed a fair amount. They moved a lot of players for this as well. The only one they didn't was the Invoker. They're trying to give Scandal as much room to catch up as possible on that safe lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And now it's just back to the farm game for VP. No reason to battle during the nighttime. Maximo still needs to be able to reach that Aghanim Scepter at a decent rate. Can't continue to die, and that's where VP has to punish during the daytime. Look for that big opening and just gun it down a lane. They still need to bring down the tier 1 tower in mid. Next objective after that will be the tier 2 tower on bot. Once you control up the Radiant jungle, it's going to be very difficult for Scandal to keep this kind of momentum up. Even with the Hand of Midas, he's still playing a catch-up game, and they need to prioritize that. So into Roshan we go. Didn't they care too much about the damage with the healing ward that's there. Ability to regenerate with the mech quickly. And here comes your Sunstrike. A little bit of spill damage. But it's too late for DX to do anything about it. All they can do is just keep farming up where they are. Push out the lanes. Tier 1 tower will take some damage, and they're already TPing him. The OD gets the Aegis Immortal. They prioritize over on him. Interesting to also see no one with the 4-staff. I was actually wondering what he would build into in this game. Like normally you want to get basic things like the Dragon Lance just because it's really fantastic stats. But up against someone like a Faceless Void, sometimes Blink Dagger is actually better than 4-staff. I know 4-staff still just transitions nicely into Hurricane Pike, which you kind of always want to get anyway. But the Blink is an instant move out from the Chronosphere. And there's always that small cast time of the Chronosphere which can be dodged if you're looking for it with a Blink Dagger.
Structures are fortified.
Sentry just out of range. Nice little change up with the Obs ward. They actually threw down 2 sentries looking for the Obs.
Dire's top tower
But
has
no
fallen.
joy for VP. Actually missed
Dire's
both of the
middle
obs.
tower is under attack.
This one's probably the
Dire's
more
structures
standard of any
are
obs.
fortified.
Block up the... Nope. Just firing off to the side. Lil needs to get rid of that catapult unless he's willing to deny that mid tower. Okay, he has to deny that thing now. But he still wants the farm. Alright, just let Solo do it. Keeping this tier 1 tower up has no purpose anymore. Like, unless they're trying to use it as bait for DX to come and try and kill it off. That'd be the only other option I'm looking at. Wait for Ramsey to TP forward, but... Ramsey doesn't even need to be in these fights anymore. I guess all up to no one. Hurricane pikes forward. Goes to the imprisonment. Okay.
Radiant's middle
Just
tower
because
is
Lil
under
can.
attack. Radiant structures
Doesn't really have the
are
mana pool to keep triggering this thing. But I think that's why it relies on the OD.
under attack.
Vals gets most of it back again. Olo and Punch looking for the opening. The Observer Ward went down, so they see Axmo and Shadow holding back. So the Tier 1 tower will drop. Bottom lane's been pressured in the meantime. Even the Forged Spirits and Faceless Void behind.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Ramsey
attack.
sees the Mirana on top, so VP just keep going. No one really looking to stop them. This is now turning into like a game of trades. When Lil triggered that Veil of Discord, DX are having even less reasons to go into a fight. DX is doing a really good work of trading. OD is pretty ass at killing off buildings. Invoker with his Forged Spirits combining with a Faceless Void, he's got a decent amount of damage up his sleeve. Yeah, you're okay with that. The Juggernaut wants to try and chase down. Bonus movement speed's not perfectly there, but now with a gush. To time walk down, Pasteurize his Ravage, and he's going to commit it. They can just solo Omni Slash, there's no way to time walk off that damage. Couldn't get it up in time. So a kill on the safe laner of DX. You hold onto your tier 2 tower. It's in deny range. You got 2 towers which are in deny range at the moment. They really should get rid of them. Yeah, map position isn't a bad thing. Look at Shadow. He just walk up and say, it's money. It's free money right here. There's 500 gold that could have been denied.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Just for the hope of having a better position to TP to. VP will keep that pressure up. Time to attack at the bottom tower. They've still got the Aegis the Immortal. Another reason why DX is trying to dodge them. They don't want to fight into this. How long have they got? Okay, it's only like maybe 50 seconds left on the Aegis.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And they're just using it to reclaim all the outer towers. 50 seconds isn't enough to push out this top lane completely.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
But they
attack.
may not care too much either. With the amount of farm they're going to get from the jungle as well as back into the lane farm, Diffusal Blade for Ramsey is rapidly approaching. And no one will also be approaching... Well, actually, what does he even approach? KB makes the most sense. Like, you've already got your Hurricane Pike. So, going into the BKB, dodges the burst damage of the Mirana, able to break free of the Night Stalker, stop the Invoker from controlling you completely. Like, it doesn't stop the Omni Knight from hitting you like a truck, but you're happy to accept that condition. Omni Knight's being focused down by the Doombringer anyway, so... Smoke gank maneuver time. Almost the middle of the night. Naximo's looking for an opening. And they may find one in the form of Lil, but they're looking towards the mid instead. Asha doesn't have Ravage. He needs 8 seconds. ODU will imprison. This will buy a little bit more time. The Chronosphere catches out the OD, but it's going to get heavily stunned. Pasha blinks up. Remember that Ravage. Already blown. That's what gave the extra space. Omni Knight can't walk away. He's being spun, slowed up. The Moonlight Shadow with the Sentry Ward down. There was nowhere to hide. Only the Omni Knight dying after that aggression from DX. You're sort of okay with that. No one, quick imprisonment, one hit down. He's got 32 points of soul and intelligence. They can keep the vision up. Yeah, you can see no one wanting it. A level 2 ultimate wouldn't have been enough. Even with that much stolen intelligence, he's still up against a very smart man, aka Imbukor. And they've had enough. They're buying a gem on Pasha. Which around the same time as they got in the last game too. And roughly around the same advantage for VP. I do feel like we may have changed the characters in our storyline, but this is very much the similar same book. Like, plagiarism at its best. You got a powerful OD, you got a powerful safe laner. The off laner's doing his work, making sure they... Kind of like, without the OD, that actually would never have happened the way it did. Because you got in range of the imprisonment. Go back to Faceless Void. My bad for not looking at that. OD imprisonment, they wrap around and hey! Boschka with a quick leap away. Did he actually leap before that and then he just repositioned him? I think that's what happened. I didn't actually see the leap when he came out of the imprisonment.
I'll take that as tribute.
So yeah, Maposhka already repositioned himself. The VP were in the wrong spots. It's always funny, the interactions around OD's Astral. Same thing like the Nyx Assassin. Like the Nyx Assassin being able to trigger his spike carapace before he comes out of it. Very good. Alright, quick respawn on Roshan, like very quick respawn on Roshan. I think VP would be very happy to slip over and take that, but not yet. They still have another tier 2 tower to bring down first. With their observer ward that's there. Okay, Shadow. He doesn't see it. Sentry actually doesn't give enough vision to the side. As they come down with... Wait, where's the gem? Where's the gem? Where's the gem? Pasha's got it. So yeah, as he comes down, he'll see the sentry ward. And instantly should get rid of it. Should instantly... There you go. There, yep. Like mass picking out. It was only by chance they found that. Tide was going to run up into the safer area inside the trees. But he came just close enough for it. All right, so they're going to sentry on the low ground. They're still what? 200 gold burnt. Trying to get rid of that one ward, which is on the other side of the map to where VP are now going to be fighting. And that ward's always nice, so VP knows if DX are committing heavily to push out. But VP lose that vision, they just move to Roshan. And then lineup, it's like, yeah, vision is definitely going to be good for you. But it's that situation I was talking about where vision could have been fantastic for DX just because you run something like an Aghanim Scepter. But the Night Stalker never went for this. And VP could always just have the option of being just so strong that you don't care about vision. You deal with whatever is thrown at you when it's thrown at you. So there's Aegis the Immortal. Into the hands of the OD. And this should be a high ground push now. It's the second Roshan. You've got your Ravage up and running. Doom is itching for a target. And he's already got his Blink Dagger as well as his Veil, so it's not that difficult for him to get in position. I also like the now the cast range. Ether Lens helping out with all of this jazz. Means Doom doesn't have to risk himself this heavily. It affects the what's happening inside the Chronosphere without having to be too close to it as well. Damn, that's a lot of money on Ramses. You might want to spend some of this before he starts fighting. Even if he picks up an Eagle Song. I'm thinking Butterfly is one of the best choices for him. There's little to no physical damage. Could actually build a BKB, that would also make a lot of sense. But I'm thinking like after all the magical damage is popped, If he's got that butterfly, Ramses is good to go. I mentioned everything else the butterfly gives you. Interesting, the VP didn't keep pushing through the bottom lane. Instead, you TP the Juggernaut to the top. He's using his illusions to push out the wave. Void and Night Stalker are still waiting for an opportunity. They're not going to find him. Ramsey just revealed himself in mid. They know he's not there anymore. As the VP make their way down the mid. Shiva's guard flying out in the courier, so now no one. More intelligence, more armor. More difficult for them to bring him down during the chronosphere. And he is their primary target. Like, killing off Pasha would be a nice thing, but now Pasha's also got a Hood of Defiance. Four-star pin, Hurricane Pike in. Poshka will go for a quick little hit, but all this just works the way of OD. Because OD's just able to keep stealing intelligence before the fight begins. So he's already getting the buff up. Beat through the tower. Doombringer really needs to be here. And it looks like he's building his own scythe as well. But he really needs to be here for the fight. Finally gonna get rid of that obs. I say finally, only took a couple of seconds, but they didn't want to risk their own lives. Smoke up from DX. I think they kind of know that if they don't win this fight, they kind of lose the game. Poshka jumps in, breaks his smoke. Just for a starfall on the creep wave, but the creep wave's still up, and now Void jumps in, hits the chrono, but the tide, he just gets imprisoned down. Hurricane Pike will also push the OD away from that arrow. But that Omni Knight down quickly. Looks like Shiva Ravage comes down from Pasha, but it really doesn't matter. I think they could blow every single major ability they've got right now, and VP still wouldn't have an issue. Invoker has to buy back, but you still have the Aegis, you still have the BKB. Maposhka! Multicast. The Diffuser Blade charges are flying free and fast as well. A buyback from Maposhka. Scandal can't move out. No one. He's got 60 stolen intelligence. He is an absolute intellectual beast at the moment. Losing his BKB, maybe not the greatest thing in the world. And it'll actually trigger the Aegis, the arrow, not the right time. It actually runs into the Tidehunter. All that intelligence that was stolen is now gone. It's hilarious though, because all the intelligence still remains stolen on the heroes until they buy back. Like, Scandal's not up. Maposhka goes in for another jump. He's going to take damage the second he comes out of this. Leap away, but the damage is already done with the multicast. They have to let the GA go. Just diffuse everything off. Purge it off with a crit side of the Doom. And just keep fighting. 60 seconds without the Mirana. 30 seconds without the Invoker. Yes, you don't have your big abilities up, but there's no reason why they don't just rotate the bottom lane and keep going. VP just had the more stable lanes, the better draft. The Night Stalker never really had enough of an influence in this game. And VP got everything they wanted. Like, you get OD and Ogre as your first two. You get a Juggernaut who already counterpicked two of the heroes that were selected by DX. Because it just wasn't banned out. Remember objective-based gaming, guys. It's just so much money, so much momentum that just flies the way here of VP. And now the Omni Slash with a Scardy Slow. You get a Chronosphere up. Juggernaut's trying to go ham against Scandal inside the base. Doesn't really want to do the whole thing. Nice time walk, removes a lot of the damage, but with the Orb attacks and Infernal Blade, it does enough. 64. Oh my lord. 64 sold intelligence. He's just hitting away. 72 at the end, but GG, well played. Virtus.Pro will take the series 2-0 in what I would say is a comfortable fashion. This means they'll have a date up against Escape. That game is up tomorrow. Begins at 17 CET. We have a later start tomorrow. We have two games coming your way. We'll have both Escape versus